Welcome. Hope you're having a wonderful day. My name is Deep Parmar and this is my final presentation. I will be talking about how I used Excel and Power BI to attain data on suicides impacted by social media. The topic I chose for my final presentation is how social media impacts suicides. So where did I get the data from? My data was sourced from this open source government owned dataset. They provide free datasets for the public, and that is where I attained my data from. Once I attained the data, I had to format it in an Excel file sheet. As you can see below, here I have the Excel raw data. So the raw data looks something like this. There's a lot of unnecessary data in it, as you can see, like the DGUID column, the UOM, the scalar I, the status, the value, the symbol, the terminated, and decimals. This is all unnecessary data which I had to filter out. So in the next step, I created a filtered data set. As you can see, this is my filtered data. In this, I only added all necessary columns like the reference date, the geolocation, the age group, the sex, the social media influence, the indicators. This is whether they consulted to a mental health physician or not. I left the UMOID because these are unique IDs to identify the specific people, and then the characteristics. And these are what I felt were important for my data set. So to filter the data, as you can see, I made a second sheet and I wrote filtered data. That is to make it a lot easier to understand. And to filter the data, I just selected everything, went to search, wrote filter, and here, add or remove filters. Once my data was filtered, I added another data sheet. So this is a global. To get better results, I added global data from 2018 to 2020. To check the results, this data represents the overall deaths due to social media throughout the globe. So as you can see, this data was obtained from another data source, which is globaldata.io. In this dataset, as you can see, we have the years 2018, 2019, 2020. I used the same method of filtering, but in this case, I did not have to filter any raw data because this data was exactly what I wanted. So once I obtained this data, I extracted all this to the Power BI. So bringing it to Power BI. So when I extracted it to Power BI, this is how I initially obtained it. So when I was using Power BI, I had to make the decision on what kind of visualization I wanted and what kind of fields were required for that visualization. So I started off by numbers by age group, and sex. These are the suicide rates over a period of 1 year by the number of age group, and the sex. So as you can see, and when you scroll your mouse over a specific age group, specific column, if it's males 12 to 17, you can see the age group 12 to 17, the sex male, and the number is 919,752. This is over a period of 2018 to 2020. You can see the same thing as you scroll on other of them. You can see the amount of uh, suicide rates due to the impact of social media. So this chart represents the impact of social media influence within the age group. This is the total population dealing with mental health issues and impacted by social media. So as you can see below here, this is where I use my sheets to arrange my data. So I have age and sex group 2020 by country, I have global and Canadian, and I have my dashboard. Moving on to the next one. So this is a chart representing the suicides global numbers which have influenced by social media. This chart represents the impact of social media influence within the global regions. This is the total population dealing with mental health issues and impacted by social media. So as you can see, the next one goes to 2020 by country. So on top here are a representation of the numbers and 2019 year. These are the number of suicides throughout the globe during the year of 2019, and these are all impacted by social media. As you can see, they're color represented and the numbers are right beside them. So this is a chart representing suicides, global and domestic numbers which have been influenced by social media. So as you can see, here is the initial one where it's as you can see from the Excel data, here the filtered data, we have positive and negative. Either they were positively impacted by social media or they were negatively impacted by social media. So as we assess this data, we can notice a trend where both sexes were positively impacted by social media and very few were negatively impacted. If I open it up on Power BI, here, as you can see, the negative impact on both sexes is very less. It's 18. But if you look at the positive impact, it's around 2,718. For females, we can see a notice of 66 which were not impacted and a number of 2,670 positive effects of social media related suicides. For males, we can see 57 negative and positive of 2,748 cases. So these are the total number of cases from both the genders. Right beside here, this is a representation of out of the total amount of population, nearly half of it was impacted some sort of way by social media and did not get any mental health with it, any mental counseling with it. And this had the number of people who committed suicide during the year 2019 due to social media. This is the one at the bottom is social media influence and the indicators. So the indicators, this is showing consultation with a health professional or emotional or mental therapist. Then there is the dark blue, which is a positive mental health flourishing, and then there is the orange represented by suicidal thoughts due to social media for 15 years and over. So as you can notice, all of these have had an impact of social media in their lives, but the amount on the light blue consulted um, a healthcare professional. The ones on the darker blue, they had an issue with mental health and flourishing problems, and the ones on the orange, these are just like suicidal thoughts due to social media. As you can see, there's a lot of the positive. There's the negative is also on the similar category. So this is the positive stating that they were affected by social media, and this is the negative saying they were not affected by social media, and these were outside influences. And the unidentified, this is the number of people that felt like they weren't really sure if they had influenced by social media or it was just like regular issue like a depression or some sort of issue. So in the next chart, this is a chart representing the suicides, global and domestic numbers which have influenced by social media. So this is my dashboard here. So this is my dashboard. This is a collection of charts represent the impact of social media throughout the globe. It's a mix of global and domestic cases of suicides impacted by social media. As you can see, the numbers have been have been the same for the 2019. This is the replication of the year 2019, and this is how much social media affected both sexes versus females versus males, and this is the impact of social media through the global perspective. This is together males and females. So I will show you my clickable links. So if I were to click on this, yeah, I'll go back to my dashboard. I'll click on this. So I access my clickable links through that. Well, thank you very much for staying through my whole presentation. It was a great experience having this class once again. This is my student email address in case of any inquiries. And below here, where the link attachment is, this is where the video link for this presentation will be attached. Once again, thank you and have a great day.